Hi there, it's the great and glorious, soon to be famous one day, Nick Dutch back on the camera again one more time. Hi there, how the heck's it going? Yep, feeling excited, gearing up for Christmas. I know, I'm fucking 36. How comes I'm, actually excited about Christmas time? Well, because it's time to chill out. You take a couple of days off work and everything. That should really be rather good. And although different people have got different interpretations as to what you should say and what you should do around about this time of year. And I know there are some people who actually don't like it when someone says like Merry Christmas to them. Well, basically, I'm sorry. I think that if there is a greeting which people give each other at a certain time of the year, which you might actually consider to be relatively meaningless or possibly hypocritical or, slightly negative, but basically isn't. It's just saying, like, have a great time, be a part of the whole thing. And you've got little repeated memes being distributed everywhere, whether it's the Santa figure, the tree figure, the star, whatever. They can just add to the whole sort of like a vaguely carnival kind of like atmosphere of the place and of the time. I was out with a few friends of mine earlier on today, took the bus back, and just seeing the Christmas lights, down the high street was absolutely fantastic. Really made my heart, feel proud and full of glee. Yesterday I started doing some decoration shopping, so I haven't actually got all that much, but as you can see we got a bit of tinsel over the main doorway there, so that when I'm doing the Christmas edition of the tarot show, I'll have a nice, appropriate backdrop there. And I've also got extra tinsel up on my beam there, around the stairs. And on top of that, I've got a small tree covered in tinsel in the window and a little wreath thing. Now the wreath thing is actually really rather daft because it's mainly like hollow. It's supposed to be vaguely the shape of a snowman. It's got a snowman's head at the top, but the rest of it is empty. Okay, so it doesn't actually look like a snowman. It looks like kind of like a face which is the wrong way round on top, so it's completely out of place. It's got the right message. It just says like "Have a jolly Christmas" written on it, so it's part and parcel of the whole thing. So that's pretty cool. I think that Christmas is a good time for everybody as well. It's a time for reflection. It doesn't matter what kind of like religion or culture you are, or whether you're atheist or agnostic. Think about what you did this time last year. Think about the attitude you had and the perspective that you had, and the way that you looked at life, or the way that you looked at certain different subjects. And think about what you're like now. Alright, now you can really sense that you've probably gone through some kind of change. Maybe it's on a deep level, maybe it's not on a deep level, whatever. But there's some kind of noticeable change there. And because of that, we can definitely say you've gone from there to here, and therefore the analogy of life itself being a journey, or being a river, or being like a path through self-discovery, it's really appropriate or applicable. Many years ago when I was in school, we did religious education, which is a subject which everybody hates. But it was rather interesting that we were taught about the idea of the journey of the Magi being the journey of life. The journey of the shepherds to Jesus was the idea of the journey of life towards its destination, which I thought was pretty poetic and interesting. During that time, it was rather difficult. I suppose I was struggling, as a lot of people are, with the idea of, should I be more atheistic, more science orientated, or should I do what my earlier Christian schooling had told me to do and just to obey and believe and all that kind of stuff. So I suppose I was rather confused at that age. But the message of starting to see religious stuff allegorically, whether whether you want to take it seriously or not, just take it allegorically, apply it to your life. So instead of just seeing, I don't know, the Christ character or the angels or God as being something that's worth revering, you see yourself as being something that's worth revering. You see your life as being almost religious in its own right. Life, the experience of just living becomes an act of worship to yourself, to everyone around you, to the world that you're living in, and to everything that you can experience. And the way that you understand the world grows and develops, as if you yourself are the God of your own universe, steadily creating the world or becoming more aware of the world with the passage of time. So all of these myths and all these ideas, they're applicable to you right now. Alright? Whether you're a believer, whether you're a non-believer, whether you're a believer of a different set of ideas, or whether you think that the great Cthulhu is God or whatever, just don't worry about it. Chill. This is the time of year when you can just chill out. Alright? Nothing to worry about. Time with friends and family. Okay, I've still got some things to worry about. I've still got the blessed tax bill to try and cover. Trying a few things to try and make sure I can make the grade. Still, keeping my fingers crossed and it'll always come out right in the end. It always seems to somehow. By hook or by crook, I always find a way of making it. So I'm going to keep that optimism going with me as well. I used to know these people way out where I used to hang out. And every spring equinox, they would always light a candle. And the day after the winter solstice, they would always light a candle. And that was, so they said, to help the sun up. I mean, obviously, as far as an actual influence on the sun itself, I don't think that there was any through just like lighting a yellow candle on their windowsill. But on the other hand, if that helped to raise their mood and therefore bring the sun into their life, then that has its merit, that has its positivity. So I'm sure you can see that, or I'm sure you can find some way of seeing that there is something good about this time of year, or the way that you can apply some of the folk myths of religion or philosophy or spirituality, or just enjoying living itself, enjoying the journey. You don't have to live by mythology, but to use it, and to use it in a way which is kind of meaningful, but you don't have to take it too seriously. Just seems to make a bit of sense. Alright, play it cool, just another little seasonal ramble from the wonderful mind of Nick Dutch. Okay, take it easy. There's no point in hating everybody or whatever during this time of year. Chill. Life's good.